yes, just wanted to say that.
Go ahead and keep it moving here. Let's talk about week 2.
Oh, week 2.
Yeah, let's talk week 2. I want to start with the injury report. There's quite a few notable injuries to talk about after week 1. I'll just run through them. If there's anybody you want to talk about quickly, we can, but this doesn't have to be too extensive here.
Okay.
Starting with Chicago, got 3 injuries here. Eddie Goldman is down for a minute here. Larry Borum with his ankle, and Jason Peters with the quad. Larry Borum and Jason Peters both went out early in that Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati cornerback Trey Waynes is on the injury report. Cleveland's OBJ, he just got upgraded to questionable. I think just merely hours ago. So we'll see how that continues to progress this week.
What was his issue again? I never even heard a clear report on him.
No, it was still he's dealing with kind of cleaning stuff up with his knee. So
okay,
yeah, they're just kind of taking it easy with him. I mean, they almost freaking won the game without him. So
it's true.
Cleveland also is missing Grant Delpit as it stands for right now. Dallas has Michael Gallup is now with his calf on IR, and Randy Gregory has been admitted to the COVID list, but pulling off that COVID list is Zach Martin, so that's always going to be a win for them, and hopefully a win for Zeke Elliott over there. Denver, wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, ankle is down at the moment. Detroit is missing Jeff Okudah with his Achilles. He is on IR. I don't know if that's going to be season ending as it stands right now, but I don't know if it was an Achilles rupture or tear.
I didn't get the final report.
I'm going to go out on a whim and say it doesn't matter. Their season is over anyway. No, I'm kidding. Detroit, though, also with their leading receiver, Tyrell Williams, is in concussion protocol as it stands. Indianapolis, defensive back Xavier Rhodes is down, and so is offensive tackle Eric Fisher. Kansas City is still missing Tyrann Mathieu as it stands. Minnesota is really hurting without Christian Darrisaw. New Orleans, I kind of mentioned it earlier with Marshawn Lattimore, chip bone in his thumb, had surgery just earlier today. Tampa Bay, cornerback Sean Murphy-Bunting, his elbow, clearly we saw that play against Dallas where his elbow, not exactly sure what the injury is, but we know his elbow, it did not look good coming out of that. So well, hopefully he can get back soon. And Washington, obviously, quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick goes down with a hip injury. So news across the board on the injury report to just today, this morning, all of those names came across the board. So that's that. Let's talk some news storylines quickly here. Coming out of week 1, heading into week 2. And then we can get to a full synopsis on week 2 coming up. So first thing that I have is Jalen Hurts. His jersey sales are up over 500% after that game against Atlanta.
Wow. Is this all mostly coming out of Philadelphia?
I didn't really look into the sales too much. I just know his jersey sales came. It was one of the biggest storylines coming out of Sunday. Just all of across tracking Monday sales. He has the largest jump at plus 500%. What did you think of his game, and what do you think? Do you think? Well, let's not specifically. What do you think about Jalen Hurts? Do you think he can be the guy in Philadelphia, if you will?
Okay, 1 game sample size here.
Yeah, I know.
He looked hella impressive. I have to say. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but just on the eye test, he looks comfortable back there. He doesn't look like he's gun shy, deer in the headlights type of thing. Happy feet. You didn't see any of that. He looked like a seasoned pro back there. Like he's. How you hear the reports, they're working with him. He's doing, the cliches. And I mean, he really, the cliche, it wasn't a cliche. Like this guy's, he's pro ready, and to my surprise, like, cause I'm like, because I mean, in our division, just a quick sidebar, we keep looking at this, this Jordan Love thing. I seen when he went out there, he didn't look all that great. But now going back to Hurts, that's all I had to say about that. I'm shocked, shockingly surprised. Like he looks damn good, actually. I mean, like, damn, okay. I think Philadelphia got it right. Especially coming out of that, the man, what is the word I'm looking for? The crap storm that was happening last year with the quarterbacks, Carson Wentz, and I just thought they was like, we're just gonna throw him out there. We just,
he's all we got.
We're not, we're just gonna double down. We're not going after anybody else. We're just gonna go with our guy to spite this guy. And I was getting that kind of vibe, and I'm like, then I watched him play, and the hell with whatever they were saying. That dude is. He should be the starter in Philadelphia. I'm like, if he's playing that way, and you ain't too sure about Carson, using him as the example, they made all the right moves in that area. Now, with that being said, they need to now definitely start focusing on building a team around him. I think they got a few pieces in place, and I'm not going to get into that, but he looks. I mean, I was impressed, and he went out there and he made me a believer. So
all right. Well, I will say, I mean, I'm not trying to knock the kid in any way. Jalen Hurts, I want him to be good. All I'm saying is,
what are you saying?
It's freaking Atlanta.
Yeah, he went out there and stunk it up. I know. Atlanta. Oh my God.
No. Well,
we'd have crucified him.
If he stuck it up against Atlanta, yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying. You damned if you do, damned if you don't.
No, I'm not saying that. All I want to say is I want to see. I mean, he's got a really good test this weekend. He got San Francisco. That's a good defense. I'm not expecting him to put up these numbers. I'm not telling you, Jalen Hurts. You don't have to sell me by doing 27 of 35, 264, and 3 touchdowns against San Francisco. You do that, you're a freaking god. I just like,
no, I get it.
But all I'm saying is
I've seen so many young quarterbacks go out there against. They played against the Jets and then stink. If it's a stinker, like what?
Yeah.
If you can't do it with this team, what team can you do it with?
And I get that. And I'm just saying that was Atlanta. Let me see you against the other side of the coin. I show me is really what I need.
Sorry, Jalen. I'm sorry. Man. He's not gonna let you off. Yeah, not after one game.
No, I want to give him his props for this game because it was that. I mean, I took the Falcons in this game just being that they were at home.
All right, Jalen. He gave you his single rolls, so here you go.
All right, we're moving on. Another story to talk about. Underdogs in this week went 12-4 against the spread in week 1.
What?
When I saw that, I was like, "Oh my God!" It was kind of an upset after upset this week. Apparently,
like Vegas got paid this week.
True.
Vegas cleaned up.
That was my only. I just really needed to get that out there. I did lose quite a few bets, but I won quite a few. So I basically broke even.
You wasn't
in
alone.
week 1.
You and the rest of the country.
God, I hate week 1.
I don't.
It was so good.
I don't understand why you
for betting purposes.
Why did you even take the low hanging fruit? Just pass up and wait till week 2.
You know what? I'm gonna talk about one of these bad beats. San Francisco. I'm pissed at you because I had it in the bag, 41-17. 8.5. I'm good. I'm sitting pretty. And you let this crap offense come down in the fourth quarter. You guys just mail it in and let this team come back and literally lose by exactly 8 points. That was the worst bad beat of the weekend.
Now, it was. Now, in all fairness, garbage time started in the second quarter. It was literally garbage time. That's just too much time. And they took but my point being they took their foot
in like 2 minutes.
They took their foot off the pedal. And I'm not gonna say credit to Detroit, but this is what I'm talking about Detroit. You go down that many points, there was none of that BS. Oh, we was fighting our way back. Dude, the game was over.
It was 41
before
to 17.
Halftime. That's what I'm getting. But they just, you know what I'm saying? That's Dan Campbell, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Kneecaps,
MCDC.
I mean, he had to live up to that, that goofy press conference. And but it was not anything that Detroit did. It was based, unfortunately, it doesn't do anything for your bet. I get that.
I was sitting there. I was just looking at
everybody else
because we were sitting there, and because all the games that we were really looking at were all wrapped up, and we were still looking at this guy like, how's this game still going on? Like, they were up by so much. It was 41-17, and we looked back, and they're like, how do they keep scoring?
See, this is what I call a true loser move. And I just want to say this. You know how, it's, as gamemanship, you don't want to show the other team up, so you don't run the score up and this and that. And so they let off the break. Now, when they let off the break, guess what? To the other team. You let off the break. You don't sit there and try to, well, we're going to keep our starters in and we just going to go. No, you freaking losers.
This
is what I mean by Detroit. See, that was Detroit doing a Detroit dick move. Like they always do.
I'm so mad at this team.
Because I wanted to be happy, but I'm like, no,
every single time I want to like Detroit, they do something like this to mess it up.
That's what I'm saying. When you can establish garbage time in the second quarter, not the second half. Stop. Well, we got to keep playing. No, you got to, you put your second and third string in, and then you just play serviceably. And that's it. You don't sit there and we're mounting a No, you wasn't, because the fact was it's all about what the 49ers stopped doing, not about what you started doing. Because what you started doing is what you've been trying the whole game. The point is they took their foot off the brake completely. Off the gas. And you all just thought that was an opportunity just to try to make it respectable. And then you thought you was going to try to sneak and try to take the game from them.
2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions to ruin my damn bet.
Right. Now, the other thing on the opposite side, shame on you 49ers.
Yeah.
Because you should have been able to just turn it right back on and just punch them right back in the mouth, put them in it. But they couldn't. And then here comes the laundry list of injuries again.
Yeah.
So, like I was telling you in fantasy, I was staying away.
I know. I guess I forgot to put him back on the list, because it happened before the game.
Yeah,
Raheem Mostert is on IR, correct?
No. New report just came out. He has opted to take season-ending surgery on his knee. He is done.
Literally, I'm looking at
that's what I said.
It came right now.
It came up like 6 minutes ago. I was just gonna wait.
Okay.
I didn't want to be. Oh, let me break into the story. You're like, no.
Understood.
But no. But see what I'm saying? We had this conversation about him 2 days ago.
Well, it clearly didn't need him for this game, so I'm not too worried.
He's done. He's.
Yeah, you are right on him specifically. Raheem Mostert, dude, come on.
He's done in San Francisco. San Francisco, do not bring him back. And I'm not saying because he doesn't deserve to play. He doesn't deserve to play there, and he doesn't deserve to hold that franchise back.
They have given him so much rope.
Oh my God! I thought I was about to say the same thing. Like too much, and I'm like, he needs a fresh start somewhere else, an opportunity, and of course. If he gets injured again, obviously he's labeled as an injury-prone player.
Yeah, my only question would be, is this a San Francisco issue? Because it happened with McKissick. He comes over and immediately has that season-ending ACL tear. Raheem Mostert has never been the same. I mean, he's never been able to play a full season. Right. I don't know. It just seems like this is they had a whole slate of injuries last year.
Coleman and
I can't remember all the names.
And the defensive players. It just, but what I guess, as much as we want to say, this epidemic and what we're seeing in Baltimore, hell, this is it's only what we've been seeing in San Francisco for the last 2 seasons. It's just Baltimore and San Francisco alike have just been, cursed with injuries for whatever reason. But at least for Baltimore, they was able to narrow it down to one position. And but San Francisco. To your point about Detroit, I don't like what they did by letting up and not being able to turn it back on.
Yeah.
Because if anything, from a competitive aspect, you shouldn't have let up anyway. You should have kept it to where at least you kept them honest, and you didn't do that. And then all of a sudden,
they just kept giving the ball right back. It was right. I mean, obviously, it wasn't a turnover or anything like that, but you just keep going 3 and out.
That's what I'm saying. Just piss poor clock management. You're not
taking the clock down. That was my issue. It's just like okay, they gave them the ball, they go down, they score on a quick 40-yard drive, or 40-second drive is what I was trying to say. And then you come back out, and then in less than 10 seconds, they got the ball back again. And that's where I was just like, what is happening? Because I kept looking back at the game, and I'm like, how does Detroit have the ball again? Like, it just made no sense.
Right.
I think they got an onside kick recovery on one of them. I think George Kittle let it bounce right off his freaking face mask. But outside of that one, I'm like, okay, there was a 3-and-out and another 3-and-out, and just kept giving them another
gave
chance
Detroit
to score.
4 more minutes, and they would have won the game. And that's, I'm not saying that's a credit to Detroit. It was just showing you just the debacle, or just that was happening, being this San Francisco 49ers franchise. And
I think they checked out in the fourth quarter.
I think they checked out at halftime. They were just you know what I'm saying?
Because it wasn't even, because you're looking at it, it's just, yeah, they got a score, and Lions anyway got a score in the third quarter, but you can tell in the fourth quarter, 3-16, that doesn't happen.
Right.
That just does not happen. So I don't want to spend too much time on it. Underdogs specifically, 12-4 in week 1. That was the bad beat of all bad beats.
And we'll be covering.
I was stewing on that one on Monday.
I mean, just to get top team after top team just going down.
Yeah.
One dragon after the next dragon, just
exactly.
Slayed.
And then the last thing that I want to talk about with the storylines here is your team and your running back coach. I'm gonna ask you, from the situation that happened in the game, I think we all saw it. Should that running backs coach face discipline?
Okay. I'm gonna ask you this before I answer. What is the rule? Just give me what the rule is. The NFL rule for participants on the sidelines coming into the field to play.
It's some sort of a personal foul point. I don't know the exact one. I think it's 15 yards. I think they said it in the game.
Per your understanding, like what
for me, I think if you come and you make contact with those guys, as long as it's not one like you're trying to catch Josh Allen from crashing over into the bench,
or you're trying to trip a player who's running past because they wrecked.
Mike Tomlin.
I was gonna say, you remember that? But yes, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, with that specifically, especially if there's like a fight, anybody who comes in, it's an automatic personal foul penalty, and then it's up to the ref's discretion if that person gets ejected or not.
Okay,
but that's for players. I don't know what the rule is for coaches.
To your question, what's the question again?
Should the running backs coach or whoever, one assistant coach from Kansas City, should he face any sort of a discipline?
Asking me my honest opinion, I'm saying no.
Okay.
Justin, for what I seen, I know that's what I say. I get the rule, but I think it should be discretionary. That's my point. And when I seen the intent of the player, that is any coach or coordinator.
Everybody keeps saying it, but to me, when I'm looking at that play, I don't think there was an intent to stomp on him.
I do. I know what you said. I'm like, this man kept his foot up, and go ahead.
If you go back and watch him, he gets up. And he's talking. He's trying to talk to the other guy that was on his back. He was trying to stand up and like get off me. And when he turns around and he literally is trying to walk away at that point, he gets stopped by one of the offensive linemen comes out of nowhere while they're sitting there on the sideline, and he turns into him and he's trying to leave. Like he's literally trying. He can't walk through this 300-pound lineman. So he steps back down, and then he does end up stepping on who is that? CEH he ended up tackling. Mm-hmm. He does end up stepping on him, and so he turns again. And when he turns and he's trying to turn the other way from the way that I was looking at it, then that's where the head coach or the assistant coach comes in and pushes him. And then he does end up stepping on CEH again when he goes back to push the head coach that just pushed him. And I think it was exacerbated by this head coach taking 15 steps back, having his headset go flying off like he's some doofus. Like he doesn't know how to...
I'm sorry. I hear what you say. I seen the same play, and I don't see that. I see what you...
Because there was just because for the people that I've heard keep saying that this is he should be thrown out of the league. This is another Ndamukong Suh type thing. Come on.
Well, I didn't say all that. I was gonna use the analogy. Stop. I was gonna use the analogy. Had that been Suh who did exactly all of that, I think
but Suh has precedent.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you've never done it before. You're doing it right now. And I'm
but he
watching
wasn't.
my players
But he
sitting up
wasn't
under there
stomping on him. He just was trying to step away, and he got bumped into.
He kept trying to step away, but then his foot comes straight down on his chest. He didn't move his foot over past his body. He wasn't like he was looking to try to see where he was.
He's got a dude behind him. He's got a 300-pound lineman right on the other side, and he can't go into their into their sideline.
Look, sir, you asked me a question. I'm trying to answer. You cutting me off from my answer, and I'm like, I said, and I'm bringing up the play again because I need to see what you're talking about specifically. I mean, I was sitting there watching it, same thing, but the nuances of it is like I'm not remembering all this. Like he was trying to move his foot, but he couldn't move his foot, and he just had nowhere.
I'm not saying he couldn't move his foot.
He had nowhere else to put his foot down.
I'm not saying because I'm tired of people saying that he stomped on him. He stepped on him 2 times.
I didn't say he stomped on him. Okay,
no, I'm talking about
foot down once. I'm looking at it. He hits once.
When he tries to turn, the lineman comes out of nowhere and he pushes him back on him.
Nope. They trying to pick him up. His foot never comes back up. He steps down and he never picks his foot.
Are you not looking at the lineman who comes and makes him step back onto CEH?
He can't step back if he never brings his foot back up.
Because he's trying to turn, and he turns right into a lineman who comes out of nowhere for no reason.
But you're saying he's doing something different now.
He's trying to leave. Okay, he's trying to walk away, and the lineman comes out of nowhere.
No lineman ain't come out of nowhere. He walked right up to him.
Why are you walking up to him? He's literally leaving.
He's walking over to his player, actually.
And that's fine, but at the end of the day, you're not going to tell me that he's intending to just stomp on or step on this kid multiple times when he's literally trying to leave. Johnson literally is at that moment, whether he stepped on him intently or the first time or not, is trying to leave that sideline.
First thing, which you didn't fail to do, he takes his first initial step. He hits CEH's what's the name? He hits CEH's thigh and knee. So his foot comes straight down his leg into his groin area. That's what he did. And he ain't even looking. That's the part that was getting me. That was the intent because he's looking at the lineman. He ain't even looking at CEH. That's my problem with him. I'm like, dude, I know you made the play on the guy who you just tackled, but now you acting like he's not even laying there anymore.
But I understand that,
so
but also
because his initial step was wrong in the first place. That's my issue.
But you also have to go because there is an article out there. He was talking to the lineman specifically because the lineman said something to him, and so and whatever that conversation is, I'm not going to say that the lineman said anything that was so out of line that it just threw him into a frenzy. But clearly, to me, he's in this spat with one guy, and he steps on him. And I'm fine with Johnson getting thrown out of the game. I'm not saying that he's absolved of everything, but for the head coach to come over and to make contact with a player and hit him, to get nothing for that, coming off the bench to hit him, and while we're in the field, I know it's out of bounds. We're still in the field of freaking play. We're on the white.
I understand.
So now Johnson, fine. If he gets a fine after this, I agree with that. What I'm saying is specifically to that coach.
I'm not against
for you to come off the sideline and to make contact with a player aggressively the way that you do in the field of play. I have an issue with that, and I think that he should be reprimanded, whether it's a suspension or a fine. He needs to have some sort of
if you want to fine him, I don't have a problem with that. Do I think he was wrong? Hell no. And I'm actually finna double down on this. I want to know why the other two coordinators didn't do the same damn thing. That's what I want to know. Because the point being is, like I said, from the logistics, he made an attempt to step past him. He missed on his own.
Yeah.
And his foot goes down. And of course the coordinator responds immediately because he didn't make he took his time. He wasn't like he was trying to quickly move his foot. He just kind of stood there.
I'm not absolving Johnson of anything.
Did he shove him way too hard? Probably. Okay, sure. Whatever. You're a freaking football player. This man don't even have pads on. He's probably 2 times your age, twice your age. So I don't have a problem with it. I like the attitude because I'm protecting my guy.
And that's fine. I have no problem with you protecting your guy, but you should also be reprimanded for you. You're coming off the sideline.
All right, police. Whatever.
Because we're trying to talk about the safety of the game. Having a guy without pads come in while these guys are just finishing a play. He's already talking to one of your guys.
What is that guy gonna do to him by shoving him? This dude is in full pads. What is he gonna do? What injury was he gonna cause this man?
Because whether or not his intent was to step on CEH or not, at that moment where he did step on him, he's walking up to a different guy in pads to talk to him about something that he just said to him.
Well, technically, he didn't walk up. He took one step. Again, you keep missing the misstep.
You can't walk through 300 pounds.
He tried to make a step over. He missed. He misstepped, and he stepped on CEH trying to step over him. He did that all by himself. It had nothing to do with the lineman anymore.
Yeah, I get.
But going forward, I'm just saying, there's an initial thing that happened that caused everything else that even led to the coach. So when I see that, I ain't saying the coach even seen it that way. I'm saying from a fan's perspective, I understand why he did it. Now, he probably did it for a whole different reason, and that's that. Yeah, to your point, sure. Because he came from behind the play, like the back judge, and then came running. As I don't know what his angle was, but from the other two, they had more of our angle, and they just kind of stood there and kind of left him up, and nobody was really making a big fuss about it. But to keep his foot down there, I'm not saying he was pivoting and putting weight on it, but just it's almost it's a disrespect in a sense. Like, dude, come on.
And I get that,
but I understand the lineman was there, and there wasn't a lot of space to maneuver at that point anymore.
Because you've already got multiple linemen. That was my whole thing. Like, he can't turn to his left. He can't turn to his right. He's not going to go into the Kansas City bench now because, like you said, he's already misstepped. He's already stepped on CEH. Right. They're already pissed off at him for doing it. I guess, and he's already getting pushed from the left side from the first lineman that already said something.
I'm looking for him to pivot or bounce off his left leg at some point to really try to get, and he didn't. He just planted. And he just kind of left his leg there, and then he started talking, and then the guy shoved him immediately.
Because with you saying that specifically, that when he puts it, when he's on his left leg, to me, I know he has his right leg is dangling on CEH. I know that, and like you said, he misstepped, and he did step on CEH. That is a penalty, fine. And this is right there.
And this is the other thing. His foot goes down. What does he do? Does he lift his leg? No. He puts his head down and just looks. That's when he pushed him. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's the disrespectful thing that you're talking about, and that's what I'm saying. That deserved the flag. That deserved him getting. If that results in getting tossed out of the game,
to be punished. If you want to say fine him, sure. Suspension? Hell no. Because I'm like, any kind of coordinator or coach should have did what he did, considering where that could have went or where that was going to escalate to. Because I'm like, again, that's like, I don't necessarily say run into the Dallas Star type of thing, but it is not as grand as that. But it comes almost it's Bush League to a degree. It's low level, but he didn't try to utilize. Oh, I have nowhere to step. Well, you misstepped in the first place, and then you look down like as if you didn't know what the hell you were stepping
looking down
on.
Was disrespectful.
That's what
I
get.
That.
I think that's why I should have mentioned that. That's where he lost me when he looked down.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and that's disrespectful. But because that does eliminate what I'm trying to say. Because after that, he does look up, and he's like, he literally is trying to move, but then he's got the next lineman to come in because he turns straight into 53.
That's what I'm getting at. It's like you ain't even trying to get out of there. You just like
at first he wasn't, and then because then he's talking to the other guy.
I'm gonna plant my foot and have a conversation with your guy. Yeah. By the way, come on,
that deserved it. But then when he tries to turn that second act, because they're saying he stomped on him twice. The second act comes when 53 comes and bumps him, and he's like, okay, well, I can't go anywhere.
He did shove, but it was it was well after the fact, and I was like, come on, man. That was one of those, and they made it more about the coach, and I get it, they ain't supposed to, but I'm like, god damn. Now if CEH had like a tear in his stomach or something like that, would anybody care what this damn dude? They would have called him a hero. That's all I'm getting at. That's why I was like, what is the rule? That's all, and now it don't help that it's
because I think it should be at least a personal foul penalty should be retroactively assessed because they initially did call the personal foul penalty on the assistant coach for what he did because that is not what you're supposed to do.
What I should have seen, it should have been offset.
Which it should have been. But then they just go retroactively and say, no, it's all on 41. Get out of here. Like, and I'm like, okay, if you want to
that either,
if you want to kick him out of the game for a stomp,
they should have kicked the coordinator.
Then they should have kicked him out too.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think it should have been a suspension, not an ejection from the game or a fine. Okay, whatever. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, suspension and like no, and not even a suspension on the other guy. I think him getting ejected, that could have been fair, but I think that same should have been said for the coordinator. I'll be fair about that, but You
I mean,
my
because I
question
honestly
was,
don't feel
do I
like he
have a
should have
problem
been.
with it? No, not at all.
Yeah, fair.
I would have been. That could have been. I would have been.
Well,
me
my
doing the
question
same
was, should he
damn
face
thing.
discipline?
No further than, like I said,
Yeah.
outside of a fine at this point. That's it.
Okay.
I don't. Anything else over that, I think is excessive.
Because so then in the game, if you were the ref in the game, how would you have assessed penalties on that?
It should have been a double penalty. Penalties offset each other and left it at that. I don't even.
Would
think
you even have?
ejections.
No. Okay.
I think it should have been offsetting because considering it was a scuffle, it was bang bang. A lot of people was involved, but from just
Multiple people comes
right.
over,
and then when you started looking at the plays, okay, 2 infractions that shouldn't have happened on opposite teams, they offset each other. Second down, first down, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, and just leave it at that. Like, you know what? The fact that both of y'all did something, unfortunately, no justice is going to be served in the day. That's what should have happened. But, now, as a homer, the fact that he got ejected and that was it, I'll take that any day. That's what I'm talking about, home cooking.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the right call, but nevertheless, they got it half right.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk power rankings.
That, by the way.
Yeah. No, because I was the only reason why I brought it up was because I heard multiple times people just absolutely dogging Johnson and just that. Like, yes, it's a like you said, it's a Bush League move it was super disrespectful for him to look down at CEH the way that he does.
Right.
But
with his foot still on. But
you can't continue to say that you're not gonna tell me that he was intentionally stomping on him twice on that play. No, and that's you're going way too far. You
never agreed to that. Never agreed to. I don't agree to that. Never said that.
Yeah.
Never even ended that. Yeah, but the question has always been: is he in the right? Yeah, kind of.
My question was, should he be disciplined? That's it.
Because I think I believe it should be held to a discretionary element. Use your discretion, bro. Come on, look at the tape, look at the intent, look at everything. Don't just look at the letter. That's why I was like, what is the initial rule? Because I know this is not black and white.
Yeah.
This is very, very gray. Now I'm not saying I endorse coordinators coming off the field, going at players at every infraction that they don't like. No, that's not what I'm saying. But that one, in this instance, it just considering the play, everything that's happened, I was okay with what he did. Now you want to penalize him? Sure, go right ahead. But I don't think I think a suspension is severe.